And now I just kind of want to go over some Ramlethal stuff, just to finish this out. So I'm just going to talk about doing combos with Ramlethal. So the first thing with Ram is that I'm pretty sure that the timing you shoot swords at is a little bit character specific. So I'm just going to talk about her B&B. So the thing about Ram is that you can't do this from there, right? And then I'll go over some Ram countermeasures at the end of this here. Because like there's some stuff a lot of people don't know how to deal with the swords. I find it weird that H shoot is the low one and slash is the high one. I think it's because H was the horizontal sword in Exert. And S was the vertical sword. Okay, I'm gonna set the block settings, and then I'll cut this like essentially here so it starts here. So I'm just gonna set this to no guard, right? And we're just gonna do combos. So the first thing is that while that can combo on counter hit, it's not gonna, right? So you want to be up close, you want to do that, right? And that'll give you the counter hit. You can also do that, which adds in a low hit, right? But if you're not near the corner, it doesn't combo, but near the corner it'll combo, right? And so this is the basic Ram combo. Oops. So yeah, you want to do this. And then you can super, right? This is your super ender. Or you can do just like this, and then this, and then this. Oh. So this adds in an extra hit, what I just did there. But anyways, to go back to it, there's this, and then you do. Fuck. I find this one a little bit impractical during actual matches at times, but there you go. That's the B&B. And that might sound weird to say, but if you're quite far away, because you're waiting for burst, you're going to want to do this, right? So this is the corner B&B, right? Oops, I forgot. You got to wait for the explosion. So you can do that. And the thing is that you're not always going to have the same hits on your starter. Is the reason why I say, like, the one I find inconsistent, right? One, boom, that. And this will always give you enough hits that you can do it, right? So this isn't like a good combo to do. I'm just saying this is good to learn. Because in a lot of matches, you're going to get weird hits that lead into the same corner combo. And it should be good to know this. Because most of my hits aren't this clean hit, right? I don't usually get that against most players. Like, I think I get it against everyone sometimes. But like, especially against good players, you're going to have like much different hit values, so not always will this 5D wall stick, right? So this here gives you like a ton of hits, because you have 3 hits on this move, I think. Yeah, 3 hits on that. So you have JK, rising JK into JD, so that's 4 hits total, plus you have these, the 2 slashes, right? And so that gives you a lot of chances to break the wall. Optimally, of course, you want to go for this into this, right? But you're not always going to get that. So this is why I'm going over the wall enders like this. The other thing is that you have 2 options for ending with super, and one of them is good. Like, let's say we do this into this. Now this might not seem that good because you lose out on a lot of damage, but the thing is that as soon as we shoot that first sword, that combo is burst safe, right? Totally and utterly burst safe, right? From here on out, the combo will be burst safe, right? Oops, misinput super. Of course, when you're doing a tutorial is when you want to drop your combo that you hit like 1,000,000 times in actual matches. But hey, drops do happen. Just be ready for them. It's dangerous with Ram because you lose your swords, but like, you're burst safe, right? And so that's the thing about Ram, is that she has really good burst safety. And this is the other thing that I wanted to talk about, is during this part of the combo, you saw me go for this, usually. And this is good if you want to be burst safe, but if they don't have a burst, you can do this. Right? And then, like, right, you get a little bit of extra damage in the corner off that. You can even do this, right? And that'll just kill with the sword. So you can add in that CS or that CS2H before you do it. In fact, if you want, you can actually do this combo. Right? So you can do something like that. Or you can do... Sorry. This type of thing, right? Oh, shit, okay. To be fair, I wasn't going for that. 2, 3. Okay. I'm bad, so ignore my advice, obviously. 2, 3, and then 6H. Bah. Right? So you have a lot of options for corner combos, and largely it's dependent on burst. So generally they're gonna have bursts, so you're gonna want to do this, right? Right, into whatever corner ender you want, right? You can do the 5D into this, do the JKD, and then 2 and 4S if you don't know how many hits you have. Also, hey Pinku. And then there's also just like, you could do this super, or you can run up and do this. Yeah, it's more based on like noise and values of like noise, so it's a little bit buggy. I'm mostly using it because it has like a little ghetto kind of arcade stick input display, which is nice to have. But yeah, anyways, back to RAM. I'm gonna go over like mid screen now. So mid screen, you actually don't generally get a lot. You kind of want to do this, right? If you don't want to spend meter, right? Or this, right? Because you're still at advantage here. Like here, I'll just for austerity's sake, I'm gonna mash jab. There's a better way to do this. Counterattack settings, action 1 after hit. We're going to do right. So I'm going to hit that. Okay. Right, so he's gonna do that, so... Right, so we're at advantage, right? And generally you want this advantage here. You're right, it's better than no advantage. It's a good situation to be in. You can of course get reversaled here. They could like backdash you. There's a lot of counterplay available, but it is an advantageous situation for the attacker because you're plus, right? So that's like the very basic, like let's say that you hit this, you have no meter, right? I'm gonna turn that off now. Okay, now what we want to do now is show off some other starters. So 2D is one of your better starters mid-screen, right? You can do this into this, right? And it gives you the full combo. And boom. Look at that. So you get a lot of reward for landing it. They wall stuck too high. Okay, so you don't want to do that. My bad. I should probably fact check myself. But yeah, you can go for this type of stuff, right? You get like all the time in the world to do like, oops, this, right? There we go. So you get a lot of options, right? Now the other thing that you get is like off this, right? 5K doesn't link, right? So it's only off of a non-scaled starter. You can try. Like 2K won't hit either, right? But it's the same advantageous like ground situation. It even gives you some time to dash up on this one. So, you know, you get a good amount of stuff. You can also do... This is hard. Right? So you do... right? And so that actually earns you a safe jump. Like this after will safe jump. It might not look like it, but that is a safe jump. There's like Twitter clips of this, so just be careful. Don't DP if a ram does that to you. Okay, so the other stuff is pretty simple, right? Like if you want like a combo with P, it's this, right? And it's the same advantage as the other situations, I believe, right? So you can get advantage with 5K. So we're gonna turn this back on. I think custom 1 should still be working, right? Okay, it is. Right, so I don't think you're plus enough that like the other move will like work, right? Like, oh no, you are. Okay. Sick. Right, so you're at advantage off that. So she doesn't get a knockdown, but she gets a really good advantage situation. Other than that, what else do we have? I'm gonna turn that off now again. Oh yeah, okay, so I've gone over basically everything that you have non-metered. You can also do this, right? Like this into this works into this, right? So anything that worked off of that will work here. You can dust loop and charge dust with Axel. That's awesome. Good for you, thank you. Whoa, I get to side switch at some angles, hey? But yeah, so you get the same conversion with that, right? So you do boop 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 boop. Ta-da! So if you get hit a CS mid screen, you should actually go into this, right? Because it actually does the correct combo you want in corner carries. So you don't want to do this mid screen, right? You want to do this. So that's mid screen BMB. What you should do. If you mess up and you do this, though, you can get this as long as Daro's in range. Of course, if Daro's not in range, you probably just want to leave it there. Or you might want to launch the sword. Of course, there's counterplay to launching the swords when they won't combo. Even H sword with most characters in the cast. I'll show that often after I'm done with the rest of the combos. So the other stuff is, now this is actually good if you do this. Right, you can get a full combo here. Ta-da! So yeah, you get the idea on that one. So that's the metered 50 meter combo. There's some other stuff you can do. I've seen some people go for this. I don't like this as much, but it works, right? Like I think that you should do this personally, because it just works, right? I missed that. I didn't dash soon enough, but you get the idea. What else is there? Okay, so we've gone over that. I'm just gonna check. I have a document that I am tabbed out of so that I can read chat. Okay, so we should probably go over what Ram can do with BRC soon. Oh, okay, actually I'm gonna go over one other thing, and this is something kind of interesting. So I've gone over wall enders. I've gone over mid-screen combos now, where you should go off of CS, where you should go off of 2D, what you should do off of 2K, /far H. I've gone over like the corner route, which is pretty universal. You just do whatever you want into like this, then this, right? And so I've gone over burst safety. So I'm gonna go over the throw combos next. So this is a burst safe throw combo, right? Oops. There you go. You can do pretty much any corner under there. But yeah. Here's the other thing with Ram, is you're gonna notice that like you don't have that many ways to mix people up in your strings, but you do have this, and you have this, which is pretty fast, right? So you can do this, sorry, into an RC, right? Boom, look at that. Or you can do just like the standard, right? So you can do this, sorry, off of a close slash. You can always go for this, right? look at that. So you have a high-low mix, kind of. It's obviously mashable on this, but also, like, if you just do this, they get hit, or if you do this, they get hit. So, while it's interruptible, generally, once you have an opponent conditioned to block this string, right, they're going to be blocking this. Also, I really recommend just going for this, over going for this. Right? Like, what's the difference, right? You still get that. So, like, why would you do mid-mid? I don't understand why you do mid-mid. You just, like, there's almost no reason to not go for that. Now that I've gone over that, I'm gonna go over some BRC stuff. So I'm just gonna go over the basic BRC. And so, first off, I'm gonna turn this on, because I want to make sure that's turned on. Okay. Oh, sorry, I actually want that on after block. And then I want to turn that off, okay? And so I want to go on ahead and I want to set them, and I'm going to set them to all guard with block switching disabled on stand first. So, first off, I want to show off that, like, BRC is interruptible, right? And so this is something that a lot of people won't be talking about, right? But, like, right? So you can bait it by going extra high, but people won't probably fall for that. We go for that, right? Boom. But yeah, you're gonna get mashed on this a lot, right? So what you want to do is you want to do so like they can mash there too, but like the sword will blow up on them, so probably don't want to do that. I'm gonna have to record a new action on the counter attack settings. Okay, let's see if this works now. There we go. Perfect. But I do want to record it so that I block longer. Right. So if you do this, this is interruptible, but right, so you can enforce the mix-up, and that's a true mix right there, right? And so this is delayed mash essentially now, but since he's in like the same replay, right, that's not mashable, right? Now let's set it to so that he's crouching. So you can't mash on that, right, with the sword reinforcing it. Other characters have to deal with the mash, right, but Milia and Ram can reinforce this with this. I showed off Milia's earlier, but okay, now we're gonna show off the high, right? Oh, it's because I'm stand blocking in the recording. But like you see, he can't mash on it, right? And so you'd be able to confirm off that overhead. I'm fairly certain that there we go. So because that's delayed mash, I don't have to do the sword, but like you do this behind a sword, so you do. Right, easy, boom. You actually want to do this, though. That's right. Right. There we go. So that's the fuzzy, right? And that'll confirm. So it's pretty scary. Just in general, this is like kind of the scary Ram mix. There's some other stuff. Just looking at my notes, seeing if there's anything else that I can do. I've gone over the BRC stuff now. I talked about this at the start of the stream, but like you can obviously do like this, right? And then use the hit stun from the BRC to combo. Oops. Right. So you get the idea of that. I missed the 5K link after, but it'll work. right? So that won't work because it's not counter hit. This'll work. I don't think you can get that actually, now that I think about it. Maybe we don't want to go to Daro then. Let me just try this out. I haven't really tested this because I don't think it's like the most important route in my arsenal right here. Okay. Yeah, so you can't do that. But yeah, so you get the low. Let's set him to stand block, right? So you get this, right? Or you get, oops, you get the link. Essentially this is most of Ramlethal. There's some other stuff. There's here I'll record. Or sorry. So we'll do that, right? Boom. Okay. Boom. Right, so you can do which is what I showed off earlier. That leads to the safe jump, right? Or you can do sorry. You can do 5k. This is something that I haven't started going for in matches, so I'm a little bit harder, having trouble hitting it. Ooh, I'm bad. There we go. This is hard. But you can go for like, here, let's just show it up the air there. Right, and this will actually link. So you can link into a ground normal, like a CS off that. So you have some air-to-air potential. I haven't lapped this enough to really be showing it off in a tutorial like this, honestly. But there's lots of clips of what you can do with this. It's very hard. And these are pretty situational, but like, I think like doing this would work, right? Oops. Right, you can hit that, right? And that's pretty stable. Or you could do, I would probably go for this. Right, you get the safe jump after. There's some more stuff. I saw this morning, but you can go for like, right, you can go for the quick fuzzy. You have to get the fast RC though. I got it once there. That's a really tight timing though, but you can get a fuzzy off of it, or you can do the instant cancel into 2D. So you know, lots of routes out there. Does that hit? I think it does. That's basically everything you need to know about playing Ramlethal. I really can't think of much else that's like not like an advanced concept. Oh yeah, there's PRC mix. Right, so you get this, right? And so you can do, sorry. Right, so you can do that, or you can do this, right? And so this might not seem like much, but like, we can go for that, right? And if they like crouch block, because I think this should fuzzy them. So I'm going to do counterattack settings after block, and I'm going to switch the custom to, we're gonna change what the custom is, and we're gonna change it to crouch blocking, which might not make a lot of sense, but you'll understand why if you know how fuzzy states work, right? So this is after he starts blocking, right? And so, right, see how like we can, oh okay, it doesn't work like that. That's interesting. So this is not as good as I thought it was. But you can't go for that, right? Oh no, it does work. Right, so you can clip them with the fuzzy block there because of the PRC, which is interesting. Unfortunately, it's set so that he'll block the high, but he wouldn't actually be able to do that in a match, right? Right, so you get the mix, and then you can also, of course, go for the throw. And of course, you do get the falling hit, so you can go. Oops. See? So that can happen. It's of course not showing him fuzzy blocking correctly because of the way that these states work. So I guess I'm going to record like an actual recording. Right, and so now then let's try. Yeah, there we go. So that was showing off the fuzzy block because the dummy switches to down back that way with my recording. And because of that, he gets clipped, right? Because he's holding down back, but it's got him in the stand block state. So it's unfortunate that these training settings don't really do a good job of dealing with like fuzzy block states. But yeah, so if you catch him stand blocking, and the important thing is if he's stand blocking before that sword hits him, you can go for this. So as soon as you do this, just confirm if he's standing, and if he is, you can go for, right? So we'll do. Right, and so you can get a confirm here. There we go. I wonder if you can hit the Daro there. I'm not actually sure what to confirm off of this. But I hope this has been informative. I think this is about the last thing that I had to show off in this. Right, so you can get a confirm here. Can you hit this? Oh, not because I don't have sword now. I wonder if you can do this. That'd actually probably be better. You do falling JS to this, if it's possible. There we go. Ta-da! I fucked up the ender, but you get the idea. You do 5D tap into the sword slash, so. There you go. So that's a hard to deal with overhead because you also get this mix, of course, right? Right, and that's like a pretty safe way to end your pressure. And because of the explosion, this is safe too. And I believe that because you're doing this, you get like the fuzzy back on the way down, right? So you could do right, rise again, right? So. So you want to do this, I guess. Okay. Oh, you can pick up the other sword, so you can just do a second sword throw. That's nice. So that's good for burst safety. In general, you want to always focus on burst safety. So now I'm going to do some ram countermeasures. I don't know if this will work. Let me try. Training settings, and then we're going to go into counterattack settings. This is after block, right? Yeah, okay. Okay. So now this is going to seem like an insane person thing to do. But look at that. Everybody doesn't know this, but just mash 6P and you can go through that. That's so fake. Like 6P through. Boom. In fact, let's do this. Okay, so that I messed up. Ta-da! Look. So you don't necessarily get a punish there, but you could use that to take your plus frames back, right? Like Kai could far slash there and Ram's minus, so Ram has to take it. If they were to do it off of a closer cancel, I'm sure it would work actually. Like look at that, boom, you get a punish. Right? If she throws a sword at that, like at a range where you can do that, boom, punish. That doesn't work. Right? So, but yeah, you can do that to like that, or if they do this, right? So you just don't want to do it after this, apparently. Let's see, maybe that's just because I'm not mashing it long enough, actually. Let's try now. Yeah, no, okay. The delay on the far H seems to be a little bit different. I may have to lab that a little bit more. So be careful of this, but if you do this, it works. Does it? It seems like I'm mistiming it. Yeah, like, I think you can get through. Like, I'm pretty sure this you can get through. I already recorded that. But, yeah, so make sure that you do it right away. You mash it, and if you 6P through, you can go for it. And Kai can do it. I'm not sure who else can do it. Test if your character can, though. Right? Oh, yeah, because now he's getting clipped no matter what. It seems like it might just be due to the fact that, like, I fucked it up. Yeah, maybe you have to delay a little bit, you know? Yeah, so you can OS it with like a down back into it, right? But yeah, these swords are challengeable in more ways than you'd think. Remember to always use BRC and pressure, right? So I'm gonna do this now. Fuck. So that'll come out as RC, but yeah, you get the idea. So yeah, remember that, like, I already showed this off, but remember that you can do, like, right? So you could just go for that and do a simple, like, safe jump. So you don't have to go for the Daro here. It's nice because you're plus, right? But, like, it doesn't always leave it a good situation because of that. There's one other thing, and this is like a combo that I saw SQ upload on Twitter. And I don't entirely have it consistent yet, but it's actually been the one thing I've been practicing a lot, is... You can get like a cross under angle here with CS. Right, so you can get crossed under them. And then you can shoot back, right? There we go. And you can shoot back, and it's pretty cool. They have a setup on their Twitter. They do it a lot more clean than me. I don't know how for sure how to do it, but it seems like a strong setup because they do the back tech, right? Because you always hit that back tech off of, like they do a back roll whenever they're in a soft knockdown. And because of that, it like rolls them to the corner, and because you crossed out, this will go out, and then they have to deal with the explosion, so you get like a force high-low, right? So it's the same high-low that I was showing off here with this, right? And of course, this is the bonus of this, is if they just don't block the sword, and you already went for it, right? Like, you just go for that, right? Nothing changes, you just go for your corner ender. And that's why I'm saying, like, because, like, nothing is perfect, generally I end up going for this a lot because it forces the wall stick, right? So any of these random stray hits, I find that ender is just really clean for enforcing it. I'm not telling you that it's optimal or that it's good, just that it's a helpful thing. Anyways, I hope this stream helped somebody. I went over some general like BRC knowledge. I went over dealing with Leo pressure in particular, although that applies to a lot of the cast. And then I went over like RAM and just the RAM game plan, some combos. Well, not so much the game plan. The game plan is bring them to the corner, employ those mix-ups, right? But yeah, I went over a lot of it. There's a lot of combo knowledge. I went over first the general corner BNBs, then I went over some other stuff with mid-screen BNBs, what you can do off mid-screen stuff. Then I went over like mix-ups and some counterplay. And I think the counterplay to RAM is important to learn. Oh yeah, this is the one thing that I haven't actually talked about. I'm gonna actually go to character select and record to do this. I want to talk about challenging RAM with the swords. A lot of people do it wrong, and I don't really understand why. Maybe like 2 minutes in the lab would fix it. Of course, if you didn't want to hit the lab, I think it would just be pretty obvious to just not like press, right? If your character has a fast but ranged button that is like somewhat low profile, you can deal with H sword. But I also want to point out something else, and this is specific to Soul. Right, okay. So a lot of Soul players are doing this because it makes sense to them. I did that too late with the recording. Okay, let's try it now. Right, so you want to do bop, bop, let the hit, and do that. Okay, I did it too early, or like late with RAM. This is hard because I'm not actually reacting to it, right? She can throw you. Basically, it's really easy to do on the offensive RAM side, but it's really hard to show on recording. Basically, all you need to know, Vortex is throwable in this game, so be very careful not to do this against Rams who are really like used to it, especially if you do it once and it works. Be wary of doing it again. The Ram might just sit there and then throw you. I've done this to so many players. But what you can do is, let's record this again. Because oftentimes they'll run up, right? And they'll do that. So let's block that, right? Oh, I fucked up the recording. Right, so that was a true block string because of the range, but I fuzzy match, right? So if she gets too close in the ground, right? Boom. You can snipe her there, but be careful because she could just bait you to whiff and you could whiff into the sword explosion. So make sure that you don't do it like here. just gonna do this, right? And we're just gonna chill, okay? So let's say we don't know what the Ram's gonna do, right? You get hit, right? And she can confirm that is the fucked up part, right? Because the Ram can just do this. And like the Ram doesn't even have to think to do this. Right, so you can challenge. Oh fuck, I didn't record that. So you get a chance to challenge, but if you guess wrong, you get hit by that. So you need to be careful with it, right? Because usually a Ram player online at least is going to test you, and they're going to do this. But here's the thing, is that they have to run up and collect their swords if they don't want to play without swords. And without swords in neutral, Ram is actually like not super well off, right? She has these normals which are good. Like this especially is like a pretty good jump, but like it's not as good as having swords, right? Ideally Ram always wants to have swords against you. Characters like Soul have super long 2p, right? And so you can, oh fuck, that was completely by accident, but super funny. I could like accidentally did super, but like yeah, let's record again. Right, and so that might not seem like much because it was shown on block, but like here it is. Right, boom, pretty solid looking pressure, right? But in reality, and it recollects her sword is the nice part, right? But in reality, it's interruptible, right? But you have to be really careful about when you do it. Right, so you can do it though. Like it's interruptible. And a lot of people aren't realizing this, and dealing with this sword is hard. And it's really advantageous for Ram, and it's not very high risk for her. But like you need to try and do like these interruptions, because if you don't do them, you're kind of just losing out, right? Like you end up opening a lot of opportunities. So if you find yourself in matches against Ramlethal players, also I'm just gonna set this to block all with block switching enabled. Hey Eve, thanks for the raid. Yeah, I'm Baja Blast Miku. Oh no, I'm cancelled. Eve's viewers are canceling me. No. So yeah, you get this, right? And like if you've been in pressure against this character, there's a good chance that you've dealt with this, especially like your first few times against her. But I've shown off that there's multiple ways to deal with this, right? Because also I accidentally recorded that. So let's do this into like dash up this. Arms Gang is coming to cancel Strive. Thank God, I don't want to play this game anymore. Right, so I showed off earlier that you can 6p through this, but it's hard. Oh, not off H though. So let's say that she does that, right? Oh, okay, you don't want to do it at the wall because the wall has the bonus hit. But yeah, you can challenge after blocking, so you want to do that, right? Not like that. How did I get that? I'm incredible. Ah, it's because I've been putting it while I do that. It's Milk, the milker. I don't know how to play this version of Soul, but that was awesome. So yeah, that's my Ram guide. I broke it down. I have the combos. I have the counterplay. All in one. Some set play. Easy, no damage combos. Whoa. Soul's cool. I don't play Soul. Yeah, anything else anyone wants me to talk about? Since I'm in request mode now. I've already talked about the blue Roman cancel and yellow Roman cancel mechanics. I've talked about dealing with Leo, particularly in pressure, although those strats, like the backdash and then come in like this, apply in every matchup, right? How do you beat Mei? That's actually a good thing to go over. So beating Mei's hard, because she's hard to answer. Talk about my favorite thing in this game. My favorite thing in this game is story mode.